My boyfriend, Esther Lederman, came to me and he said, well, why don't you get yourself some false papers as a Catholic girl? Just in case. I took pictures and somebody was able to get me those papers. And then Esther came to me and he said, well, I came to say goodbye. And I said, where are you going? Oh, we are going to a village, Jalówka, in Przytempe. His family was his parents and his older brother. We are going to go to our friends, the Jals, a Catholic family, very dear friends. And they suggested we come and stay with them for a bit until things just get quieter and we'll be back. And he left. And I somehow subconsciously registered the information in my head because he was not supposed to tell me any of that. In those days, you didn't tell the dearest people anything because inadvertently I could have betrayed them. And then we had an order for all men of the age of 15 to 45 and women 15 to 40 to show up on the marketplace, October 1st, 1942. I was on the marketplace, my dad was there, and thousands of others. We knew people were being sent to a labor camp. My father was chosen and I was chosen to be sent. A friend of mine came up to me. He was a ghetto policeman. He said, go home. So he just sneaked me out and I went home. In the meantime, I got my papers. So I had the papers. I prepared, I had a rosary and I had a Catholic prayer book and I had it all in a little bag sitting there. So my mother said, well, why don't you go to those Jals and see maybe they'll help us, take us in. There was a lady who greeted me. She said, well, the Ledermans were here, but they are not here anymore. They are at the train station waiting to go to Germany as Polish laborers. And then she said, well, why don't you leave your bag here and go from house to house and ask for people to take you in, because there are a lot of young people, there were a lot of young people wandering about, running away from raids, because those raids were all over the place. The Germans would take young people and take them, ship them to Germany to work in farms and on farms and in factories. Three days later, I was sitting in the kitchen, and there was a lovely fire going in the stove, and neighbors came in, and they were agitated, and they were excited, and they said, oh, they cleaned out Khmelnyk. They took all the Jews away. Those who were old or sick were shot, and the road was strewn with dead bodies. I didn't have my dad. I didn't have my mom. I didn't have my sister. I could not show any reaction. I could not show any feeling. I could not show any sorrow. So I just said, fortunately, I sat in the back of the room, so they couldn't see my face. But that was the end. One day, the mayor of the village came in with a long face, and I had a strange feeling it was about me. He says, well, there are rumors in the village that you are Jewish. If your papers are good, it's okay. But if they are not good, you can't, I'll have to do something about it. So I put on a brave face. I gave him my papers. I said, my papers are fine, but look at them, check them out. And he left. I knew my papers were not fine. So the host said, you are a nice girl, I would keep you, but you understand I have a family. I wish you well. I thanked for the hospitality, and I left. Where do I go? I go to find out the Jal's house. By the time I got there, it was dark. I knocked on the window, and a young girl about my age came out. She said, shh, quiet. I met Jan Jal, the head of the family, the kindest man with the kindest eyes. I felt no harm can come to me here. and his younger brother, Bogdan, an image of his brother, and this young girl, and this woman, Madame Zalewska. And I told them my story. Jan was the regional commandant of the underground. They were very deeply involved with the underground, and they knew all the machinations and all the ways and the byways. He said, well, the first thing we have to do is to take your papers back from that mayor, because he is known not to be a friend of the Jews. And the clerk who issued the papers may get in trouble. So we'll take care of that. We'll think of something. The Ledermans left already with a Polish group. But we'll see what we can do for you. In the meantime, you cannot stay here because somebody may have seen you coming in. So Bogdan will take you to the forest and you'll stay there overnight. In the morning, we'll have a plan ready. Sounded great. They gave me a coat for warmth because it was already getting cold. And he took me to the forest and he said, now go to sleep. I'll come in the morning. So I lie down, I was exhausted. And I covered myself with the coat they gave me, and I fell asleep. And Bogdan came in the morning. He took me to the house, and I said, oh, what's going to happen? Don't worry, things are working out fine. And the evening, second day, I was brought into the house and told to go up to the attic. And I went to the attic. I see somebody's there, and the Ledermans were there. They never left the house. They never left the house. Now, what do they do with me? They had a conference. They're afraid to let me go because, again, I could have inadvertently betrayed them. And they didn't want to keep me. But Mr. Lederman, of blessed memory, said, it's an orphan Jewish child. Whatever happens to us will happen to her. Whatever we will eat, she will eat. And so I became the 5th member of the Lederman family. And our odyssey began.